Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Oh man, I'm so excited to share this story with you today. It's one of those tales that grabs your heart, shakes it up a bit, and leaves you feeling like anything's possible. I'm talking about a woman who started as a maid, became a lifeline for a little girl, and ended up rewriting her entire future. It's raw, it's real, and it's got me all fired up. So grab a cozy drink, settle in, and let's dive into this incredible journey together. I want you to picture this: a massive, fancy mansion, all polished wood and chandeliers, but it's cold, like the kind of cold that sinks into your bones. That's where I found myself one night, working as a maid for a billionaire named Nathan Grayson. I was just Maya, the woman who scrubbed floors and folded laundry, trying to make ends meet. But that night, it flipped everything upside down. I was in the nursery, rocking this sweet little girl named Lily. She was only a year old, with these big, teary eyes that could melt anyone. She wouldn't stop crying. No matter what I tried, bottles, toys, nothing worked. So I did what felt right. I held her close, humming a lullaby my grandma used to sing. And just like that, her tiny body relaxed against mine, her sobs turning into soft little hiccups. I thought, wow, this is it. This is what she needed. But then, the door burst open, and there was Nathan, eyes blazing like I'd committed a crime. "What are you doing?" he snapped, storming over and snatching Lily from my arms. I froze. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it. "She was crying," I said, my voice barely steady. "She only calms down when I hold her." He wasn't having it. "You're the maid, Maya, not her mother. You don't get to hold her." Ouch. Those words hit like a slap. Lily started wailing the second she left my chest, her little hands reaching for me. It broke my heart. I stood there, helpless, watching her cry in his arms, her face red and panicked. I wanted to scream, "She's scared. Nathan, give her back." But I bit my tongue. He was the boss, right? Still, something in me snapped. I couldn't just stand there. "She's terrified," I said, stepping forward. "Please, let me hold her." His eyes locked on mine, cold as ice. But there was something else there. Confusion, maybe even doubt. After what felt like forever, he handed her back. The second Lily curled into me, she quieted, her tiny body melting against mine. In less than a minute, she was asleep. I sat on the rug, rocking her gently, whispering, "I've got you, sweet girl." Nathan just stood there, silent, watching. And let me tell you, that silence? It was louder than any words. At that moment, I felt torn. Part of me was furious at Nathan for treating me like I was nothing. But another part, it saw a man who was lost, holding a daughter he didn't know how to comfort. I thought, this guy's got everything: money, power, a mansion. And yet, he's got no clue how to love his own kid. It hit me hard. I've always wondered, how do you build a life so big and still feel so empty? What would you have done in my shoes? Walk away or stay for that little girl? The next morning, the house felt different, like the air was heavier. I barely slept, replaying Nathan's words in my head. "You're the maid, not the mother." Ugh, it stung. But I wasn't here for him. I was here for Lily. Upstairs in the nursery, she was finally sleeping, her tiny arms stretched out like she was hugging the world. I sat by her crib, just watching her breathe, and I thought, this kid deserves better than a house full of silence. Mrs. Delaney, the housekeeper, found me there. She's this older woman with a sharp tongue but a soft heart. She looked at Lily, then at me, and whispered, "She only sleeps when you're here." I shrugged, trying to play it cool, but inside, I was shaking. It was like Lily knew something I didn't, like she trusted me in a way no one else ever had. That night, Lily cried again. Mrs. Delaney tried. Nathan tried. Nothing worked. I walked in, scooped her up, and started humming. Boom, silence. She nestled into me, and I swear, it felt like she was saying, "You're my safe place." Nathan was outside the nursery door, listening. He didn't come in, but I could feel his eyes on us. Later, he knocked. "Maya," he said, his voice quieter than before. "I need to talk." I stepped outside, closing the door softly. "What's up?" I asked, bracing myself. He looked at the floor, then at me. I was wrong. I shouldn't have said those things. It was cruel. I nodded, not letting him off easy. "Lily knows what's real," I said. "She needs warmth, not wealth." He swallowed hard. "I know, and I think you're not the only one giving it." Oh, that hit me. Was he admitting he needed help? I didn't trust him yet, but for Lily's sake, I said, "I'm not quitting. She needs me." He nodded. "Stay. For her." I agreed, but something inside me shifted. This wasn't just a job anymore. It was personal. The next few days, I moved through the mansion like a ghost. I polished tables, brewed coffee, folded blankets, but my mind was on Lily. Nathan barely spoke at breakfast, his coffee untouched, his tie all crooked. Mrs. Delaney kept her distance, but I caught her watching me, like she was trying to figure me out. I didn't need their approval. I just needed Lily to be okay. One afternoon, I was folding towels in the laundry room when I overheard Nathan on the phone. "No, Jennifer, I'm not interested in dinner. I've got a daughter who cries all night unless someone holds her. And I can't even look that someone in the eye because I treated her like garbage." My breath caught. Was he talking about me? I stepped closer, and the door creaked. He saw me. Silence. "Eavesdropping?" he asked, his voice tight. "Laundry." I shot back, holding up a towel. He exhaled, rubbing his neck. "You weren't supposed to hear that." I raised an eyebrow. "This house is full of secrets, Nathan. But I'm not one of them." He looked at me, really looked, and said, "I meant it. I was wrong. You're not just the help." I didn't let him off the hook. "Lily knows who's gentle. That's what matters." He nodded, and for the first time I saw something like respect in his eyes. Later, I went back to the nursery, humming to Lily as she drifted off. Mrs. Delaney stopped by. "You're different," she said. "Most maids quit in weeks. But you're here for her." I looked at Lily's sleeping face. She's worth it. And in my heart, I thought, this little girl is teaching me something. She's showing me I'm more than what people think. A few days later, Nathan called me into his office. It was all sleek and modern, glass desk, fancy screens, the works. He showed me a wireframe for an app called Single Mom Support. My jaw dropped. "What's this?" I asked. "My next project," he said. "A hub for single mothers, resources, legal aid, childcare. But my team, they don't get it. They're mostly guys." He looked at me. "You do." I crossed my arms. "You think I know what single moms need?" He didn't flinch. "I think you know what it's like to be invisible. That makes you the expert." I was stunned. Me? An expert? I've always wondered, how do you go from being unseen to being the one who shapes something big? I wasn't a tech guru, but I knew struggle. I knew what it felt like to be left behind. So I said, "I'm not a consultant. I'm just Maya." He smiled. "That's enough." That night, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling. I thought about my life, foster homes, late-night shifts, clients who never said thank you. And now, I was being asked to build something, not just clean it. For the first time, I let myself dream. Not of escaping, but of staying. Of maturing. This story taught me that sometimes the smallest moments, like holding a crying child, can lead to the biggest changes. Over the next few weeks, I started working on the app with Nathan. I suggested an anonymous forum for moms too scared to speak out loud. Some women, I told him, they'll only share if they're alone in the dark. He listened, really listened, and I thought, wow, this guy's actually learning. One evening, as I rocked Lily, he sat nearby, watching. "You're good at this," he said. I laughed. "At rocking babies or calling you out?" He grinned. "Both." Lily was changing too. She started giggling more, reaching for me the second I walked in. One night, Nathan asked, "What did you want to be when you were a kid?" I froze. "A nurse, maybe." then a teacher. But life, it doesn't hand out dreams to girls like me. He looked at me, his eyes soft. You're more than you think, Maya. I didn't know how to respond, but my heart was racing. Was this trust? Was this something more? Then came the snowstorm. The power went out, and it was just me, Nathan, and Lily in the house. I found him in the kitchen, trying to boil water on a camping stove, looking like a total mess. You're ridiculous, I teased, grabbing a pot to help. He stepped back, laughing. You always know what to do. I shook my head. No, I just do something. That's the difference. As we worked together, I realized something. Nathan wasn't just a billionaire anymore. He was a dad, a man, someone trying to be better. And me? I was starting to feel like I belonged. Things were good, too good, maybe. Then Claire showed up. Lily's mom. She walked into the mansion like she'd never left, all poise and perfect curls. My stomach dropped. She wanted to see Lily. I handed her over, but the second Claire held her, Lily screamed, reaching for me. I took her back, and within seconds, she was calm. Claire's face crumpled. She doesn't know me, she whispered. I didn't mean to, but I said, she knows who stayed. It was harsh, but true. Claire left, and Nathan looked at me. You didn't have to say that. I nodded. I know, but it's the truth. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking, what if I'm not enough for Lily? What if I'm not a mom, just a stand-in? But then I looked at her, sleeping peacefully, and I thought, no, I'm enough for now, and that's what matters. This story taught me that family isn't always about blood. It's about who shows up when it counts. Weeks later, Nathan offered me a new role, head of community development for the app. I laughed. Me? I've never run an office. He didn't back down. You've run a household. You've handled crises. You're more qualified than most CEOs. I took a deep breath and said, okay. And just like that, I stepped into a world I never thought I'd belong to. My first day was wild. Meetings, legal talks, press interviews. A reporter asked, what does this job mean to you? I leaned forward. I've been invisible my whole life. Poor, overlooked, dismissed. This isn't just a job. It's a chance to make sure no one else feels that way. The room went quiet, and I thought, wow, I actually said that out loud. At that moment, I felt powerful, like I wasn't just surviving anymore. I was living, but it wasn't all smooth sailing. Jeffrey Klein, a shady executive, started causing trouble. He'd been skimming money, and when Lily went missing one day, I found her with him on the rooftop. My heart stopped. What are you doing? I demanded. He claimed he was just watching her, but I didn't buy it. Later, I found proof, documents linking him to fraud. Nathan and I confronted him in a boardroom showdown. You're done, Nathan said, and security escorted him out. I exhaled, thinking, we did it. We protected what matters. But the fight wasn't over. A woman named Marissa, a former nurse at the estate, reached out. She'd been blacklisted for knowing too much about Grayson Global's dirty secrets. I met her in a rundown apartment, and she handed me a folder full of evidence, emails, forged checks, corruption going back years. I called Nathan. We have to go public, I said, but carefully. We gathered allies, journalists, former employees, and I made a video. This isn't about revenge, I told the camera. It's about accountability. For women like Marissa, like me, who were told to stay quiet. It went viral. Executives resigned. The truth came out. Through it all, Nathan and I grew closer. One night, he asked me to dinner, not as a boss, but as a man. I teased, are you asking me on a date, Mr. Grayson? He grinned. I think I am. We talked for hours, and I realized something. I was falling for him. Not the billionaire, but the man who showed up for Lily, for me. One evening, he kissed me under the stars, and it didn't feel like falling. It felt like flying. I started my own nonprofit, the Warm Floor Foundation, for women like me, women who've been invisible, who've raised kids that weren't theirs, who've slept on floors to keep others warm. It's not just a project. It's my legacy. And Lily? She's thriving, giggling, calling me Mama Maya. Nathan's learning too how to be a dad, how to love without fear. We're not perfect, but we're real. This story taught me that love isn't about grand gestures. It's about standing there, day after day, when it's hard, when it's messy. It's about choosing to stay. And you know what? I'm choosing to stay. For Lily, for Nathan, for myself. So what about you? What's a moment that changed your life? Drop it in the comments. I'm dying to hear. If this story moved you, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more stories that remind us what really matters. Let's keep building a community that sees the unseen. I'll see you in the next one.